A couple of weeks ago I did a video about 5 things that I love about the E93 series, and if you haven't seen that you can watch it by clicking this thing that's coming out right now. Anyway, if after that I thought it would be also a good idea to talk about 5 things I don't like about the car. And I know hate is a strong word, and I don't really hate anything I'm going to talk about here, but I had to do it for the title, so soz. Anyway, number 1, my first reason why I hate this car is the push to start button on the for the engine. And this was the second BMW to ever have this, I think, after the E65 7 series, correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously now everything has it and every Kia has it now. But I don't like the way that everyone has gone to it, and there's not many cars left that actually have a key, and I miss that. I always like putting the key in and starting it yourself and knowing, okay, it's on now, I have to let it go. And it connects you more to the car, I think, and it brings you closer on a emotional level, I think. We're off again on the weird stuff, but I think pressing a button and not even having to hold it. I know the Ferraris, I think you have to hold the button and then it'll start and then let go. But I mean, this, you just press it and it'll start. And I don't like that you press something and then it does everything. I know it's better and it saves like the starting motor from excessive use, but at the same time, I'd like to do it myself. Is that weird? It probably is. But that's number 1 why I hate this car. Number 2 is it's more of a Chris Bangle issue than anything else, but it's the dashboard. Now, Chris Bangle did not get his hands on the exterior of this car, and I think the designer of this car was the same as the E39, which is awesome. But what was carried over from the E60, E65 to the E90 was the flat dashboard. So you might remember in the E39 and E46, it was very, very orientated towards the driver. It was all slanted, everything was just, you're in a cocoon almost. But on this, there's the slightest curve that goes in, I think, and gives the driver slight priority. But at the same time, it's a lot more flat and gives the passenger a lot of ownership of the cockpit, which isn't that great. And I know it, like, BMW almost admitted that they effed up, and because now the F30 and the F10s and the G30s have gone back to being very driver orientated. So this was definitely an era of interior design, and it didn't work for me. It looks neat and it looks slimlined and it looks good, but it's still, I just don't like the way it's passenger orientated as well as the driver. So that's number 2 of my 5 reasons. So I'm sitting in the back now, and the next thing I hate is the cup holders here in the back. Now, honestly, they aren't that bad, and this is more of an overall BMW thing than just the 90s. And I don't think I've ever seen BMW cup holders that are brilliant, especially in the back, because I think the E60 was, I really hated them in the back because they were whatever plastic they used, and they just felt flimsy and they made those horrible plasticky noises. These ones aren't actually too bad, and they've got the rubber things to hold the drink, and down there it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit flimsy and plasticky, but I suppose they're all like that. So it's a very, very small thing that I hate about the car, but sure, I had to make a list of 5. This is how desperate I'm getting. So yeah, that is the next thing that I hate. Number 4 is something I mentioned when I did the buyer's guide for the E93 series, and if you want to see a buyer's guide, you can click up here in the thing that's coming out again. But one of the things was the trim around the center console starts to peel a lot, and I don't like that because it doesn't look very nice. And you start to see the plastic, the cream plastic and the white plastic, and back there and around the air vents, and it just looks messy and old and scuffed up and not good. So I know there's not much you can do about it, and it's from wear again. If you bought one with 2 miles on it, it wouldn't have that obviously if it wasn't used, but after use it does go, and it's annoying. So that's another thing I don't like about the car. The last thing is very specific to this very car again, and it's that the clutch has issues. The clutch doesn't want to be a clutch, it seems. When you take off, and it's sometimes when it's definitely more predominant when it's cold, and and it hasn't been driven in a while, that there's an awful like judder or shake, or something's not right. Anyway, I'll see if I can splice in some footage of it happening. Woohoo! But definitely, it's like, I don't know what it is, if it's the actual engagement of the clutch, if it's something in the drive shaft going back, if it's in the diff, if it's in... Something's just like not connected or not engaging right or something. But for me, because I learned to drive manual and learned to drive in this car, so it took a little bit of getting used to it made my life a little bit harder when I was learning to operate 3 pedals at the same time. But again, I think it also gave me a good understanding of treating a car and learning the quirks of different cars and having to adapt your driving and your inputs to specific cars. So it's a pro and a con, but definitely I'd rather if it wasn't there. So that is 5 things that I don't like or maybe hate about the E93 series, and this very one in particular. Again, they're not big things, and I do love this car. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and check out some more things on the screen here, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye!